Hello everyone, welcome back in this episode of Bitcoin Trade. Of course, I'm always reading up on the news of Bitcoin because it's evolving so fast. I have to keep up with it, and it's going to affect my ability on how I market my Bitcoins and how I can facilitate the buying and selling the transaction of trading bitcoins, either for goods or service or for U.S. dollars, since I'm in America. Um, of course, you all know about the ruling that investors are users of Bitcoin and not required to, register as a money transmitters or a money service business or something like that. So we are, an investor. And now remember, an investor can be anybody who, by simply an act of buying and selling bitcoins. Okay, anybody can buy and sell stocks. Once you do that, you are quote unquote an investor. All right. Anything that you if you invest in something, you're an investor. I don't know how to put it, but now that the governing, regulating body for whatever money and financial crimes, whatever, has determined some guidelines, and it's not like they can't. They have to, because that's their guidelines. And those guidelines also apply to Bitcoin. The same reason Washington State declared Bitcoin as money, because Bitcoin is nothing more than an electronic delivery device. All right, a device. I specifically use the word device. Okay, open or closed loop, whatever. It does have a stored value. So there is some stored value in Bitcoin. So that's something we can all establish. If you know anything about Bitcoin, why Bitcoin is very unique, it has stored value, can't be counterfeited. The blockchain itself allows for accountability of ownership. So in this episode, I want to talk specifically about why I like Bitcoin, besides all the other stuff that I talked about. Okay, there is some unique thing that I like about Bitcoin, and I'm going to tell you why. And after I tell you, everyone's going to understand and have a better understanding why I like to have anonymity. Okay, and so I'm reading this article, and this article is basically at regulatory hearing, prosecutors admit Bitcoin is a technological breakthrough. So it's just reading stuff, blah blah blah. I'm just, I'm always trying to keep up with it. But I want to highlight something in particular, okay? And let me highlight it before I forget where I am. Okay. So I'm going to highlight the sentence here of what maybe the biggest gripe about regulators, but I'm going to make a good argument on why this is great, and regulators just have to deal with it. Okay, if they were regulating in the first place, if they were properly enforcing and regulating and doing their jobs in the first place, Bitcoin wouldn't be a problem. Bitcoin would still be just an obscure cryptocurrency. But let me just explain, okay? Let me just read this. Of course, some of the features they single out as potential dangers, okay? So the regulators in the hearings and the testimony are pointing out dangers, and they're specifically singling out this danger, is Bitcoin's combination of anonymity and ease of movement, for instance, are the same features they have attracted so many users in the first place. So the anonymity and ease of movement is why I like Bitcoin a lot, and I'm going to tell you why. All right, so regulators, if you're listening, law authorities, government authorities, whoever, if you're all listening to this, this is why I trade and buy and sell and pretty much putting my life into Bitcoin. Okay, first of all, anonymity. All right, I was a victim of identity theft, and I did all the right precautions. I shredded all my paper. I kept my social security number very confidential. In any case, what ended up happening was, you know, I was providing information to a trusted source, and that source, that third-party affiliate, whoever, uh, they compromised my information. All right. So a third party compromised my information. For example, like Target. Everyone hear the news about Target? How basically they were compromised, and your account numbers, your PIN number, your name, where you bank at, all that information was on your cards. All right. Now criminals have access to your identity. All right. So why is anonymity important for me? Because regulators cannot combat identity theft effectively enough for me to feel safe with my money and my identity. All right. And I speak from experience. Okay, I'm not just reading reports and then making a comment about this in particular. I've had personal, first-hand experience with identity theft, and it's not, it's not fun. Okay, so that's why I like Bitcoin, because of my anonymity. But that's also why criminals like it. But at the same time, although the prosecutors admitted that the digital currencies are not specifically designed to facilitate criminal activity. All right, and if you've been watching my episodes, I kind of explained to you. Basically, it's using bitcoins or any cryptocurrencies as a means of making money through criminal activity is redundant. It's actually very stupid, and it's more cumbersome actually. And obviously, if you haven't noticed the arrests made through money laundering and people being caught supposedly who are untraceable to find, well, you're wrong. You can be found. Okay, I kept saying, in the real world, when you commit a crime, you leave a trail. You leave physical evidence that you cannot cover in the real world, in the physical world, and that trail will always lead back to you, and you will get caught. All right. So Bitcoin was not designed to help criminals. It was designed to educate the public on what money is and how they can get out of debt. Basically, how you can get out of slavery, and how you now can take control of your government, how you can take control of your country. You can actually even take control of other countries and other governments, as well as purchase other assets around the world. Okay, so that's the that's the design of Bitcoin. That's the purpose of Bitcoin, is to free people from enslavement and give power back to the individuals who actually make things work. All right, who actually make the world turn around. The real people that actually do stuff in this world. Now they have the power. You're able to take back your power that we've been giving away slowly over the course of years and years, just eroding our personal. I don't know. It seems like your power to do things has been slowly eroded away for the benefit of the few. So the rights and the liberties and the freedom of many have been compromised to benefit the few. So Bitcoin to me is a way to take that back and let it be an equal footing for everybody. Because if the wealthy can get free money, damn it, I want to get free money. I want to have access to that free money too. Not just the wealthy because they can afford a financial instrument to basically extract money, free money, okay, through a financial system. So Bitcoin levels that playing field for anybody to do. Okay, anybody can become an investor. So, so that just addresses the anonymity and the ease of movement. Okay. I like to think of money that I've, for most people, they've earned it, they've worked for it, they put time into it, they put sweat, all right, sweat equity into what they've done. They should have every right to go to the bank and take out 100, 200, 1,000, a million, whatever they have a right to. They should go to the bank and say, hey, I like to make a withdrawal, and I like it in legal tender in US dollars. It should be everyone's right. We shouldn't be, the government shouldn't have a stranglehold on our necks telling us what we, if we can take our money back or not. So that's why the ease of movement is important for me, because, and the reason why it's ease of movement because is the banks don't own or have any custody of my Bitcoins. I own them. I have them in cold storage. I have them in different online wallets. With the exchanges and other places, technically they work just like a bank. Once you deposit money or you give them money or your Bitcoins, it's really theirs. You're just using it. But the difference is I can take out the Bitcoins with ease at any time and put it into my own personal wallet. All right, and those are the two exact reasons why many users find it attractive in the first place. Okay, I'm not a criminal. I'm a victim of crime. I'm not anonymous because I wish to do harm. I'm anonymous because I have been harmed. All right, I like to use my money. I like to do whatever I want with my money. It's mine. It's my property. My owner. I'm the owner of that said property, financial instrument, stored value, whatever. It is mine to own, to do whatever I want to do. So those two concepts, it's attractive because I'm trying to protect my identity and I'm trying to protect my wealth. All right, and that's why a lot of people probably like Bitcoins, and this is the same reason why regulators don't like it, because they want to squeeze you, right? The shakedown. They want to get you for whatever. They're racketeering, right? They're going around threatening people. Hey, if you don't pay up, we're going to put you in jail. Well, it seems that way. I mean, I'm sure they're not. They're not, really. They're not. Anyways, so that's why, that's why I like being anonymous, and that's why I like the ease of movement. There's also dangers in it as well, because criminals can be anonymous, and once that Bitcoin goes, it's gone. But that's okay, because there's already laws and regulations in place to protect the investor. All right, a transaction was made, an agreement was made, you can legally take somebody to court and make a case. All right, it's no longer in limbo. Bitcoin is money. All right, this is all legitimate and legal now. So it falls within the legal framework of whatever jurisdiction that we're in. So somebody basically committed fraud, and you sent them bitcoins, and basically they did not complete their obligation for the exchange of your bitcoin. Well, guess what? You can take legal action against that other party. And I'm telling you, criminals don't like that. And there's a public ledger. If you do any texting or phone calls or emailing, you can keep those as records. Okay. You know, this is going to open up Bitcoin quite a bit. So anyways, that's that. Let's go into a chart analysis. Now I got my internet back up here. Okay. And this is a 15-minute Mt. Gox. Of course, I love seeing those nice bands, and it's not moving too much. The moves aren't that great, but if you look at the under indices here, which you'll notice that they're not moving that much either. So simple, they're just ranging here. Nothing going on. That's a Bitstamp, 15-minute chart. And BitC. Okay, so BitC's moving quite a bit more. I might start trading on BitC because they may be listening to my video. The bands are coming out much better. So the bands they look a little better, except when they start moving, they really kind of get narrow. But as they start slowly moving up and down, you can kind of see the bands, and then you can start making some lines. You can see that you could have made a line right here, and as this crossed over, it would have gone down. Same thing, you could probably make a line here, and as soon as it crosses over, it's probably going to go up. The spread on BitC is starting to, look at that, it's starting to move a little where you're starting getting those bands. So, I think BitC is becoming more of a trading platform than an index. It is an index, but it's also a trading platform as well. So, I might do some BitC, but let me tell you something about BitC, okay? And let me see here if I got. Excuse me. I'm gonna move over here and try to see if I can get onto BitC here. Okay, so here's BitC. Now I'm just talking as I'm going, so it's not like I planned this. So there's BitC. Now I'm going to tell you something about BitC. Okay, you can apply and get verified, but I don't know how exactly you're going to fund this, because as far as I know, they're not taking wire transfers from any U.S. bank, and they're also not taking any wire transfers from no matter what bank you're coming from any U.S. citizen. I did write to support asking them about this and saying, is this right? Because before you were accepting wire transfers, and their answer was, yes, that is correct. That's all, and no explanation. So I don't know how you're going to fund if you're a U.S. citizen and you have a U.S. bank. I don't know how you're going to fund this. So you have to fund it through a third party, which they have a whole bunch. And here's the thing, and you can fund through the third party. You can fund with a credit card. You can fund with a wire transfer, but the problem is they're going to take a lot of fees out. And so by the time you put money into this thing, you're basically paid the price to put money into it for the price of one Bitcoin on Mt. Gox versus BitC. So that it's low for a reason, because to fund this costs money to fund it. And by the time you fund it, you'll realize the cost for one Bitcoin is almost the same price as Mt. Gox. But if you're smart, what you want to do is you want to buy Bitcoins out off of Main Street and Wall Street, alright, from mining pools, from someone who deals with mining pools, and get a Bitsy price, be able to get Bitsy price or very close, and then just go ahead and move the money in. But it doesn't really matter about the price, because like I told you, this is just a trading platform. You want to be an exchange where you got some good price movement if you're going to be a trader, because that's how you're going to make your gains, through the price movements. So Bitsy looks like it's moving a lot in volume. Let me see here. There's a volume so far as trading. So that's how much they got. But anyways, this is Bitsy. I mean, this is their cheesy graph, which you can see stuff. I wouldn't use it to do any technical analysis. You can't do much. But the nice thing about Bitsy is that you got a lot of different cryptocurrencies to pair against. So you can play with the different cryptocurrencies. But if you know what I've told you before, you're just wasting your time on cryptocurrencies, on other alternative cryptocurrencies. The only great thing you can do with Bitsy is maybe you can get rubles. So you can change your bitcoins to rubles. You can change your bitcoins to euros. So these are some things you can do on Bitsy exchange where you can't do on some of the other exchanges. So you can load up any Bitcoin and then turn it to exchange it for any one of these cryptocurrencies, or vice versa, and into another currency altogether. So there's a lot of things you can do, and there's other exchanges that can do it, but I'm just showing you the most in US volume, the top 3, of course. So this is what you got here. So I already have an account. What I might do is get some of the profited bitcoins and just load it here and start trading on let me see here, trade maybe I'll start trading Bitsy, because now I'm starting to get some really good bands. These weird spikes that I showed you before, they're not showing up as much. So this is a really good trading platform. Yep. Let me cut out and come back in. Alright. Oh, thanks for coming back here. I'm back here now, and so yeah, I might start trading on Bitsy as a platform as well. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Just as long as I can read the chart and there's something that I can work with. I don't know if I can work with Bitstamp, because look at this. Look at the narrow bands here, and look how tight it's moving. You can't really get any. You can't get any good price actions for someone who's trading. This is like a horrible platform to trade off. Again, in my opinion, this is more like a miners or merchants kind of trading on this kind of platform. So, but let's go back to Mt. Gox. I'll go ahead and finish up with the chart analysis here. So there's the overall, and like I said, it would bounce up here, it would bring coming back down, and maybe bounce back up again. It's really gonna just slowly creep up, looks like, and it's hugging this support line, and for a couple reasons. This is the uptrending channel within what I think is a overall downtrending channel here, but it's very close to. It doesn't know what to do. It's just hugging this bottom support, and it's going to eventually hit into this top resistance, and so it's going to either I wouldn't say violently, but it's going to either have a fall. But since it's so close up to the top support or top resistance with this bottom support here, it might have a chance to break out, and this would be the target price right about here, which would be 1070, 1080. Like I said, originally it has to go above this price, which, if it given enough time, remember this is an uptrending line, so if I move this if I move this over, by the time, if it just continues on, if it continues on, so it's got a what? Let me see. One and a half more days of just bouncing in here. It's gonna make a move here. There's someone who's gonna see something and say, well, I think it's gonna go down, and they will make that order to push the market order price down. Or someone's gonna say, hey, I think this is a great buy right here. It's broken out. It's gonna shoot. You know, by the time it moves, remember, it's always constantly moving. The price action's moving this way. So on an uptrend, as it's moving its way up, the more time it takes to reach this line, the higher the price is going to be going. So by the time it hits up here, this line may be even further up higher. So it's going to try to hit against the uptrending resistant line. So there's a chance that it could go back up to 1100. Matter of fact, there might be a chance if it's able to break above this resistance, continue on, it may have a lot of time to, you know, this is all open field, right? For I know Super Bowl, today's Sunday, so it's Super Bowl, a lot of open field to score a touchdown. So of course, there's still a lot of resistance. Like if it starts back here, it'll probably, you know, there's a lot of sell orders at this price here, the last high, and on top of that, there's probably a lot of sell orders at this price as well. So it's not going to be, you know, a slam dunk per se, but I'm just giving you some input that maybe help with your trade. So whatever you're planning on doing. So hopefully this helps, and hopefully you have a better idea of what Bitcoin is and how it really works and how you can benefit from using Bitcoin. So anyways, thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, dislike, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned for the next episode. Bye now.